Hi, I'm Angela Skirtu, and I'm with St. Louis Marriage Therapy. You can find me at www.therapistinstlouis.com. For this series of videos, I did do this in my bedroom, but actually, this topic, depression, is not necessarily about sex. It just happened to fall in the string of sex-related videos, and so it's happening in my bedroom. But anyhow, today I wanted to talk to you about depression. A lot of people struggle with depression. I live in the Midwest, it's St. Louis, so a lot of people actually struggle with seasonal depression because the sun is just not out as much as it usually is in the summer and in the spring. So, one of the things I want to make very clear to everybody listening is that if you are struggling with any form of depression, especially a crippling form of depression where it just feels like you can't do anything, you can't get yourself out of bed, um, I need you to see a psychiatrist and a therapist. Having two is really helpful. So they're very different. A psychiatrist is somebody who works on your medical issue of depression, meaning giving you medicine or giving you even vitamin treatments or giving you suggestions for how to eat differently, like take new chemicals into your body to change the way you chemically are working, because depression is partially a chemical issue or a medical issue. And then the therapist is there, a therapist like me or someone else is there to help you work on issues associated with the depression, like any issues going on in your life, not feeling empowered to make the decisions you need to, not setting boundaries where you need to, or saying no or saying yes. It can depend on, every person is very different in what depression looks like for them. But basically, learning to advocate for yourself and take care of yourself. So, in addition to those two things, there are some very helpful tools at a base level that individuals need to work on developing as habits. And by a habit, I mean it is so much a part of your daily life that it's like brushing your teeth. That you, just like people feel kind of like, oh, my teeth feel gross because I haven't done this, like it becomes so much of a habit and a part of your life that you almost feel weird not doing it. So these are behaviors that people who struggle with depression need to develop that are so much a part of their everyday habits that it would feel odd not to do them. And one is taking a shower every day or a bath. Um, and so a lot of my clients who struggle with depression will say that on their worst days, they just won't do the basic hygiene thing of taking care of themselves. But what they'll also tell me is when they force themselves to take a shower, just like they don't feel like it, they don't want to, hallmark of depression is no motivation or a lack of, like literally, I just can't, I don't feel like doing anything. They stay in bed all day. But when they force themselves to get out of bed and take a shower, it changes the rest of the day because they at least got into the bath. They at least did something to take care of themselves. They at least forced themselves to focus on this, on what they need to be the best person they can be. Whereas people who stay in the bed and don't get to the shower continue to feel worse for the rest of the day. So that's one thing. Force yourself to shower every day, regardless of what you feel. I'm going to give you more, but as a side note, depression comes with no motivation. So this isn't like I need the motivation to do this. It's learning to force yourself to do these things and developing them so much as a habit that you just don't even think about them sometimes, because these aren't things that will fix depression, but they do make the day a little bit better to go through as a result of doing them. That's why I say first thing is still see a psychiatrist and a therapist. That's what we're doing to work, fix or managing it, to work to fix or manage it. So one is take a shower every day. Force yourself, first thing, get in that shower, clean yourself off, even if you crawl to the bathroom. A second thing is forcing yourself to get sunshine or vitamin D in some way, shape, or form. So what you're getting out of sunshine is vitamin D. Vitamin D is very directly linked to your happiness and well-being. In the Midwest, what it may look like is taking a D supplement and talking to your doctor about that. What kind of D supplement can I take to stay on top of my depression? It also looks like as soon as the sunshine is out, force yourself outside. Remember, I'm saying force. You don't feel like it. You're being forced. You're forcing yourself. Or if you have a partner who's willing to say, let's go outside, and kind of drag you a little, and you're okay with that, don't push anybody, but like, come on, let's go, force yourself to go outside. Sunshine. Um, Another thing is nature. We as humans are not outside enough. It's funny, I'm doing a video and I'm inside, right? I gotta do some of these outside. I'm looking outside, and part of what we need is to be with trees, with the sunshine, but with the grass, with the beach, the water, the nature and the outdoors is helpful and healing for people. So force yourself to get into nature somehow. If you do have a partner and your partner is willing to suggest nature or hiking dates, suggest nature and hiking dates. Like, let's go outside. let's go to the park. Let's go have a picnic. Let's go do something out in the world. Let's go to the lake, whatever you have around you, but force yourself to be around nature, even when it's cold, because it's still better for you to be in nature than inside. Inside has become our little cave holes. And then a final thing that's really important to work on is exercise and having an exercise routine that forces you to raise your heart rate. What we found is that a lot of times depression shows up after high school and college in the young 20s. And part of that is that in high school, we have gym and we have after school activities that keep us active. And so people might have actually been experiencing their depression then, but then after losing some of those physical activities and going into college, they become less active, and that's when the depression really kicks up. So even forcing yourself to join an activity, some activity that gets you socially exercising so that you're needed, like a team sport where you feel guilty if you don't show up. All of these are very helpful ways to force yourself into activity, paying for something. Guilt is actually a great motivator for depression. And so then hold on, there's actually an extra final thing, and that's social interaction. So also making sure you get around people. Like, depression is a very isolating thing, and it does make people kind of shut down and slow down and try to avoid, but avoiding people actually makes depression worse. So having regular things, and it doesn't matter what it is. If you're religious, it could be church. If you're not religious, it could be a sport or some sort of hobby. But having something that regularly gets you around people on a regular basis is what people need. And you need two different types of social interaction. One is with people that you really care about, love, and trust. But another one is just people, like your mailman, your newspaper guy, or like in a church, if you go to church, which no judgments either way, but if a person goes to church, having people that you talk to on a regular basis on that Sunday when you go to that church, or if you have if it's a meeting, a civic meeting. So anyhow, those are the things to focus on: sunshine, nature, exercise, and social activity, and then hygiene, forcing yourself to get clean to start the day. This has been Angela Skirtu with St. Louis Marriage Therapy, and you can find me at www.therapistsinstlouis.com.